Okay, this dream was a spiritual warfare dream. My husband and I were in our room. This was the dream. We were in our room when a woman's spirit dressed in sapphire blue appeared. And no, I'm not talking about Frozen. This was long before the Frozen movie came out. She was like a warrior of some kind, and she was there to harm us. Like, she was really wanting to hurt us and just kill us. She was wanting to take our lives. And I was just so scared. I called out really loudly the name Genine. Like, I was like, Genine! And then the light started to flicker, and we heard a woman's voice that said to the warrior woman, she said, "You should be afraid." And I then turned the opposite way after seeing a cardboard box slide out of the doorway, because I had a cardboard box sitting in front of my door holding it open because the door would close. But the cardboard box had slowly slid away, and then the door slowly began to close, and the lights continued to flicker very violently. And I covered up completely with my blanket, and I don't know why, but in my dream it stood out to me. But my blanket was blue, and my husband wrapped his body around me to protect me. And then the room just filled with whispers all at once. It was like there was millions of people and they're just whispering. And that was when this Genine arrived. And then they were getting louder and louder and faster and faster. And then everything got quiet all of a sudden, and the lights stopped flickering. And I told Nick, I said, I think we can get up now. And then I prayed to God to take back Genine. I said I shouldn't have asked for her to come in the first place. And then I was just apologizing. And at one point in the dream, my husband asked me, I added this to the end because I forgot to add it at the beginning. My husband asked me to call Genine, and when I finally did, he said, oh, now you call for Genine, but not when I asked you to. And I ended up looking up the definition for Genine, and the definition for Genine means God is gracious, God is merciful. And at one point at the beginning, my husband and I were fighting this woman, and she had said for 1,000 years, for 1,000 years, and newcomers and new ones still don't get it. She said, you newcomers, or you new ones still don't get it. And she said something else, but I don't really remember what it was. I think that's when I called for this Genine. I think my husband told me to call out before then when the woman warrior arrived, but it's just crazy because I don't know anybody named Genine. I don't know any of this. Like, it was just a very spiritual warfare thing happening. Like, I was under attack spiritually, and then I called out for God's mercy. I called out for God to be gracious to us, and I did it in such an unusual way. I called for a Genine, and then this Genine protected us, and it just happened to be that the definition means God is gracious or God is merciful. So I believe that God was taking care of me. I believe that I was under attack in my sleep by a demon, and God vanquished this demon because of the faith that I had in him, I guess, or just the fear that I had. Not really quite sure. If you have any thoughts, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I know that a lot of people might think that this has nothing to do with anything and it's just a dream, or that I'm just completely crazy or something, but whatever, people are gonna think what they think. These are dreams that I've had. These are things that God has showed me. These are my spiritual warfare. This is my spiritual warfare, and all I can do is just tell it like it is, how it is, and maybe somebody will take this information and use it for something. I'm not really quite sure. I just feel God telling me that I'm to share all of this with as many people as I possibly can, and YouTube seems to be the best option for that. So thank you for listening. I have many more dreams that I'm going to share, so please watch or listen to some more of these videos.